Okay, Vada, tell us what it was like going to school at Wooley Creek.
Well, it has been several years, and school has changed considerable today than it was then. We had a most lovable community. Everybody worked together, and that's what held Wooley Creek School till yet. All the students, all their parents. We didn't have school buses, we didn't have water, we didn't have telephone, we didn't have electric heat, but we was a happy family, the entire school and their parents. I lived across the creek to get to school, and I had to ride a horse. And I have a twin sister and an older brother. The brother was ahead of us, so we three rode the horse across the creek and up to the school. It was about 2 miles. We had some real dear friends that met us and helped us girls off of the horse. They were always there, and they was always there to see us girls got back home to go home. We took our feed, we tied our horse up to a big tree, gave our horse at noon, and that afternoon, the boys would put us back on and we would go home. But it was an entire different school today. I had 6 in my class. I don't know, really, there wasn't more than 35 or 40 in the school. We had 3 teachers in 8 years. We all loved our teachers, and they really worked with us, especially reading, writing, and arithmetic. The county had a county superintendent then that came ever so often to visit the school and to help. If we had made grades for a month at a time, perfect attendance and perfect grades, we got a certificate. And I have some certificates on the wall at the Wooley Creek School.
Several. Several certificates.
But it was entirely different. And we didn't have money at all. There was no government help at all at that time. If we needed some money for school, we'd have a little pie supper. Everybody in the community would come. And they'd put a guy up for being the most henpecked man, or the man with the dirtiest feet, or something. Brought more than the pies. Or at Christmas time, we didn't have any money for Christmas. We went out and picked little red berries off of the bushes out in the schoolyards, strung them on threads, hung them up, and decorated our schoolhouse with little red balls, because you didn't have any money. But we had love, we had happiness, and I loved every one of them, and I still do. I don't have many friends left. I've almost outlived them all. I have a twin sister that's still alive, and one other boy that's 3 or 4 months older than I am that were in my class still alive. But a very few of the students are still alive. So,
Tell us about what you had for lunch, Vada. What did you take for lunch?
well, I was fortunate enough to have meat sandwiches most of the time. A lot of the students didn't have meat sandwiches. And they had thickened cocoa. And I didn't know what thickened cocoa was, but I traded my ham sandwiches for thickened cocoa. And they had a ham sandwich, which they liked, and I had thickened cocoa. I still don't know what I eat. But everybody shared. But there was no water, no heat except the wood stove. We had a bucket, and we had our little cups nailed up with our name on it. And we'd get our water, poured in our cup, and that's the way we had our water. No telephone. And I was really lucky one day and slid across a bench and slid a big splinter in my leg. And what are we going to do? We really got upset. No telephone, no nothing, no nurse. What are we going to do? The teacher's husband was there, and he threw me across his back, and he walked about 2 miles and carried me home to take me to get this splinter cut out. So I went to Crane's and Dr. Kerr. They cut that splinter out. But we couldn't miss school the next morning. So Mama made us a pillow, and I rode on my horse on a pillow to school. I had to go to school every day. There was no excuse to not go to school.
Talk a little bit about illness. How much sickness did you have, or did the other students have?
There wasn't a whole lot of sickness happening. Everybody took care of everybody. That splinter, they didn't get it all. So about a week, I had to go back to the doctor, and they cut out another piece. I went back to school the next day, because you can't go to school. That was my parents. They were school people. They were neighborhood people.
Did you want to miss school? You didn't want to miss school anyhow, did you?
No, we never. I got several attendance certificates.
Were you a good math student, Vada? What was your favorite subject?
Yeah, I took math, everything math in school. I went for a test just a few days ago, and they were trying to evaluate this up here. And they asked me what is 7 and 8? I said 17. Well, what's 7 and 5? I said 12. The little nurse behind said, I think we better hire her for my school teacher to take her home to my kids. But we learned from flashcards that you flash the cards up, and if you flash a card up, you're supposed to give the answer immediately. And it was no problem.
What kind of restroom did you have inside the school?
None.
Okay, I was just asking. Well, explain to me, because they've showed some pictures of some outhouses. What did you have at Wooley Creek?
There was 2 outhouses at Wooley Creek, and they were down on the south end of it down there where that fence.
Were they,
Quite a ways to walk. You wanted to stick one finger up or 2 fingers for help.
were one for boys and one for girls, or were they? Okay, no, you said.
But all in all, it was a wonderful community. It still is a community pulling together. You can see the love from everywhere, and all the students. And all the students loved everybody.
Who was your favorite teacher? Of all the 3 that you had, didn't you have 3 in 8 years?
I had 3 teachers.
Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Irene Ware was, and Grace Wheeler, and they stayed at our house. They didn't have transportation, and they boarded in our house. And Irene I guess would be my favorite. And not too many years ago, I saw Irene and Aurora, and she looked at her husband and she said, This is the lady I was talking about last night.